Ladies and gentle wizards, welcome back. Today we're going to be assembling a powerful solo wizard kit from the market and then putting it to the test against some dungeon dwellers. Our budget is about 5,000 gold, so we should definitely be able to create a solid build. I'm starting off looking for some mystic vestments with knowledge to boost our magic power and resistance and to start building cast speed. These with 2 knowledge and 2 dex will do nicely for 475 gold. Next up, I'm looking to build more knowledge with leather shows, and I'm also looking to build some HP. Now max health is looking really expensive, so we settle for vigor instead. I find these with the dex and cast speed on top of 2 vigor, so we lock it in for 490 gold. Looking for epic rawhides for more knowledge and some bonus agility, I score these beauties for just 275 gold. Next, I start searching for epic low boots with 1.5% move speed bonus or 5 additional move speed and then some useful secondary rolls, but nothing for a decent price looks very good, so I decide to just skip the shoes for now and come back later when I have a better idea of specifically what stats I need to be looking to build the most. Here I'm going to grab my go-to headgear, a blue leather cap to build more HP with agility and 1 true magical damage. Next, since I went for mystic vestments instead of an oracle robe, I want to build some more knowledge with a radiant cloak with 1 true magical damage and then a useful secondary roll. In this case I got some extra action speed, only setting me back 288 gold. I check my stat page and see I currently have 295 move speed, so we're going to want at least 10 more to feel comfortable. I first check out some lace turn shoes with knowledge and move speed bonus, but they're a little pricey, so I go to blue low boots and look for double move speed rolls. 2 agility and 1.4% move speed bonus should get us 11 or 12 more move speed, getting us past our goal of 305. These also get us to 47 knowledge and 8% action speed, so the kit is really starting to come together. I check my stats again to see what I need to supplement with jewelry, and at this point we're really just looking for some more HP and then maybe some magic power to finish it off. The cheapest epic vitality ring with true magical damage just so happened to have 2 somewhat useful rolls, so we grab it for 440 gold. For my last ring, I start by looking at rings of resolve with true magical damage and max health to boost my magical power and HP at the same time. But the prices were insane, so we end up instead grabbing a blue vitality ring with 2 magical power and 1 true magical damage, which is almost as good for about half the price. Ever since necklaces were nerfed to randomly roll a maximum of 1 true damage, Phoenix Choker prices have gone way up. For an alternate option, I like to look for Badger pendants with magic power and true damage rolls, which can boost my damage output to a similar level. Spellbooks can roll up to 6 max HP, not even including max HP bonus percentage, so I like to get that on all my books if possible. I have my book out the vast majority of the time that I'm fighting, and it's much cheaper to get 6 HP on a book than on my clothes, and it's much cheaper to build magical power on my clothes than on a book. My melee weapon of choice in solos is a crystal sword, since I'll not be running staff mastery. I like to go for an epic sword with a couple of damage boosting rolls such as physical power or physical damage bonus. Watching this back, I'm not sure why I bought the sword with 1 physical power instead of 3 for the same price. I assume I just misclicked and didn't notice. You definitely will want all the physical damage help that you can get. To finish the kit, I'm going to buy some campfires and heals. And finally, a stack of protection potions. Today I'm going to be running 5 spell with the intense focus skill, so I'll need the spell overload perk along with my usual arcane mastery, sage, and quick chant. For my spells, I'll be running the usual invis, fireball, zap, and magic missiles, and then in my 5th slot I'm going to use ice bolt. It's a great spell to use with a quick cast speed and recharge time, plus projectile spells are extra effective when combined with intense focus, since enemies have less warning that they need to be ready to dodge it. Jumping into the gameplay now, just before my first PvP encounter, I'm healing back to full after I definitely didn't face check a Skelly Mage Fireball. You always want to try to clear PvE as quickly as possible, since they can and will affect your ability to kite and move freely during a fight, both of which are crucial on Wizard against most enemies. I noticed some unnatural blue light coming from within the bookshelves, indicating that a player with a Founders Edition torch is nearby. I quickly break line of sight and clean up these spider mummies so I don't start the encounter at a disadvantage. I'm so focused on waiting for the player to push from my close right that I don't even notice that this other player is across the room and I get sniped by his crossbow for it. He knows he hit me and is quickly closing in to capitalize. He's approaching a choke point though, making it difficult for him to dodge spells, so it's the perfect time to whip out intense focus and sling a spell at him before he's ready for it or able to dodge it. As he pushes towards me, I invis to reposition, but to my surprise, the original player was another wizard. Since he's casting with his staff and the bonk meta is super popular for solo wizards right now, it's safe to assume that this guy is indeed bonking. For us, a skilled bonk wizard is pretty much just a barbarian that can go invisible, which is very difficult for caster wizards to deal with unless they're in a narrow choke point where their movement can be predicted. But he's out in the open with plenty of freedom to move, so instead of jumping into the chaos, I opt to back up and wait for a better opportunity to engage. As quickly as the party started, it falls silent. As I go to check it out, I hear one player breaking pots to my right, and then see the bard had run upstairs and is now exiting the room. I take the opportunity to secure high ground myself, since it'll give me a strong advantage against the Bonkatron, forcing him up narrow stairs or ladders and then being confined to a narrow catwalk with me. The wizard also exits the room. I'm not sure if he just respects the wizard brotherhood or if he needs to regen spells and heal before coming back to challenge me, so I jump down to keep pressure on in case he's doing the latter. And sure enough, he's still right on the other side of the door. A quick invis to drop the mob aggro, and then I consider chasing since I know I just did some decent damage. I stop myself though, because the module he's in is one of the absolute worst for casters to fight in. It's nothing but tight corners which will always favor melee players, and a ton of mobs that could quickly sandwich me if I'm not focused on clearing them one at a time, so I just have to let him go. A huge part of playing Wizard, and any class for that matter, is recognizing your advantages and disadvantages in each situation and picking your battles accordingly. For the longest time, I just pushed every player I found in every situation to try to build my combat skill, but no matter how skilled you are, you can't outplay putting yourself in terrible situations. I invis here as I exit the bookshelves in case someone heard me and set up an ambush, and then I head back upstairs to make a campfire to top off my spells and get to full health in a place where I have clear vision of the room and can't get instantly jumped on. I hear pots breaking again, and then our resident music man, so I perch myself above the door to the room that I anticipate him coming through, so if he does waltz in, I can instantly have a fireball flying towards his head without making any movement noise. He either heard me stand up or just didn't want to risk getting ambushed in this clearly already trafficked room, so I hear him scurry away. He's in an area that I've already cleared though, and the room is pretty open, so I feel justified in chasing and engaging him. Tragically, he seems to be long gone already. I've lost any advantage I had in knowing his location before he knew mine, so if I continue trying to track him down, he could hear me before I hear him, set up on a corner, and then jump on me, which is instant death for me. I decide to just go back to the library where I have much better odds of avoiding an ambush. I eventually decide to start moving north towards the pyramid module, since that's usually another highly contested place that's pretty open and decent for wizards to fight in, but as soon as I open the first door, I find another music man. This long hallway is a pretty even playing field for us since we'll both be ranged classes in this fight, so it's a fight I decide to take. I chug a protection pot and then invis to more safely close the distance as I get into zap range. So now the terrain has changed heavily into his favor. He has high ground, making it easy for him to quickly jump on me for melee, and making it extremely difficult for me to get any fireball splash damage. To win this fight, I need to push up to his high ground and pummel him with zaps and fireball splashes around the corner. He opts to close the door and try to heal from the zap I landed, so I try to keep the pressure on and potentially knock him off the bridge with a fireball knockback. And he mid-air no-scopes me for 60% of my health with one bolt because movement and accuracy on bows isn't a feature in this game. If I just tuck tail and run now though, I'd be a fish in a barrel in this hallway, so I know I have to keep the pressure on despite my health. His confidence allows me to land 2 consecutive zaps, likely taking about half his health, which gets him to shut the door and gives me the opportunity I need to go reset my spells and HP. To campfire, I go all the way to the corner of the upper level, so if he comes to find me while I'm still sitting, he doesn't get an immediate free headshot opportunity. Sitting in the corner like this allows me to have full visibility of the catwalk, while still having most of my body hidden behind this post. It seems trivial, but campfire location is a critical skill to develop as a wizard. You want to be out of sight enough that you aren't immediately found, but not so confined that if you are found, you're trapped with nowhere to go. I look to re-engage, and the bard is creeping up the hallway looking for me as well. Just like before, I prop pot up, but this time instead of just invising, I sling some ice bolts to hopefully get some damage in before he goes and hides in that doorway again. He's too far away though and is able to easily dodge them, so it's round 2 of the Jiggle Peak battle. I've got a splash angle on the corner he's in, so I repeatedly shoot fireballs at him, hoping to knock him off the bridge where I can finally fight him in the open with potential high ground advantage. He isn't peeking, so I invis to scout if I knocked him off, and it seems I did. Popping my intense focus right here is a mistake. He's far enough away that he can still easily dodge projectiles even though they're casted instantly. His crossbow is far more effective than my spells at this range, so it's going to be on me to close the gap on him so I can zap him or use an intense focus projectile to nail him before he can react. By popping intense focus this early, now I have to waste it on an invis to safely close the gap, yielding no real value from it. And to make matters worse, it didn't register in my head that the invis had used the intense focus, so I try to instantly smoke him with a few magic missiles and release the spell before it's fully charged, resulting in nothing happening and forcing me to bail off the bridge. I expected him to jump down on my head to melee me, so I quickly invis juke, but he actually did the smart thing and kept the high ground. I dodge his shot and get ready for the real fight to begin, so I start off with an ice bolt and... oh, he's dead. I guess I did zap and fireball splash him before, but I assumed he would have healed by now. Maybe he was out of health potions or just forgot to drink them, but I was ready to fight as if he still had full health, which is a very good mindset to have in any fight. I'm low on time, so I beeline it to the nearest portals, quickly clear the mobs, and get out of there. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you're able to pick up on some tips about wizard kit building and solo PvP that can help you slay out in your own matches. For my next videos, I plan to do Inferno and Ice Abyss PvE guides for solo wizards, but let me know in the comments if there are any other specific concepts you'd like to see videos on. Also, you can join my Discord and submit PvP clips for free review or ask any wizard questions you have about the game. I and the wizards that have already joined are more than happy to help you out, so the link for that is in the description. Until next time, so long, friends!